How to stay positive in a negative world. It's a very good question that I got today. And I wanted to speak from my perspective. I'm a positive psychologist. Welcome back to the channel if you're tuning in again, and welcome to the channel if it's your first time here. I'm going to help you feel your best and perform your best. I'm a flow state specialist, so I help people tap into the zone. I've helped athletes, I've helped actors, I've helped, many different types of individuals, entrepreneurs and so forth, healers. My main mission here on this planet is to make flow state the new hustle. I want to be the trailblazer, the movement maker, the change maker, the thought leader of this movement. And I truly believe that we're going from a solar plexus chakra culture up to the heart. A lot of people are talking about heart-centered, but I don't think how realistic they're making it. Tuning into the energy of the heart is going to be very, very important for you. And that's where the positivity comes in, okay? So how does a negative world affect us? First of all, why are you presuming that it's a negative world already, okay? Just because we don't understand some of the disturbances, like how do you explain natural disasters, right? Specifically from a spiritual standpoint. We still haven't gotten to that answer yet. I mean, it's still fuzzy. These things are fuzzy. And that's the thing. Negativity is fuzzy. Positivity is clarity. You know, if you're going to be more positive, if you're going to be more optimistic, you're going to have a better effect in life. You're going to feel better. Your mood is going to be up. You're going to be having more energy, and more energy equals more sales, more impact, impacting people in your career line or whatever you do. So the secret is to trust in the optimism, in the faith, and in the belief, and not to rely on our survival conditioning, because that's what negativity is, right? Negativity is just survival. We've used it to protect ourselves. But there comes a point where it becomes extreme pessimism and lack of trust and a learned helplessness, where you feel like, whatever, right? Life has slapped me around so much that what's the point, right? I get that feeling, that existential dread feeling. And it can make someone feel very negative. When you're in the darkness, you're doing things unconsciously, right? And you're doing them on an autopilot loop, so it doesn't feel like you're actually breaking your principles or values. It doesn't feel like you're doing anything. But really, you're strengthening that pessimistic version of you through acting out in sad and pessimistic behaviors that perpetuate. Let's say you're in a social environment and you have this impulse, right, to check your phone constantly. When you feel like nobody's talking to you, you just check your watch or check your phone to seem less alone. Maybe that's your go-to strategy, right? Your ego's preservation mechanism in that moment. Once you become aware of that, like, oh, I'm doing that again. I'm checking my phone. You predict the pattern, and then you bring awareness to it to change the pattern. That's how you're going to change this thing and how you can be positive in a negative world. It's going to come with some level of moderation, some self-control. It takes a lot of self-control to stop feeding into the news media sensationalism frenzy. It takes a bit of grit, a little bit of willpower to actually push through and have resilience. So resilience, optimism, all these things come from having a positive vibe. So positivity, not a fake positivity or a toxic positivity, right, either. But genuine, honest optimism and hopefulness is what we need on this planet, okay? Some people even just a blind hope to get them through their day, right? To get them to feel a little bit better. So positivity is extremely important, and I think we kind of make it into a meme, so it seems kind of ridiculous at one point, like the Pollyanna sunshine, like, archetype of this super happy-go-lucky type of person. You understand that once you delve into the shadows, you gotta be prepped. You gotta be prepped. Prepped how? Skill-wise, skill-wise, how you can handle the shadows, how you can delve internally in your internal world and not, go bonkers, not feel like you're going out of control. If you're feeling like you're out of control, you're not going to be in flow. Because to have flow state, you need to feel like you have a sense of control over the task at hand. You get what I'm saying? So if you feel like I'm lacking all control, there's something there that is taking away your freedom of choice, your power of decision, of making a choice. I want people to judge me for my choices, not for, superficial reasons. That's just my 3D meat suit. What are you going to do with that? Right? It's just, that is what it is. But what does my soul say? How am I communicating in the astral realms to some of these people? We don't look underneath the surface enough in culture. We only see the top level of what's going on. And we judge it purely based on that first impression of that. A negative culture is a fear-based culture. What is the news and the media and the governments and the, what's going on behind the scenes? What are they promoting? They're promoting fear, man. Do you ever see a news article where they're preaching love? I used to actually follow this thing called positive news at one point. I used to wake up and just check the positive news. And though that might be kind of insane and filtered, like, oh, I'm blocking out all this negativity. You can't do that either, right? So you got to be able to sit through some news documentaries and like stuff like that. You can't completely oppose it either. So this is where the fine tuning and the refinement comes in, right? Because if you're blocking it off also completely and you're like, no, the news is never for me, right? How are you going to get updated in terms of what's happening in the world, right? There's certain things that are happening in the world that might be your concern, might not be your concern. You might not want to concern yourself with what's going on out there. I give to this cause that I really believe in. That's different. But how can you be a contribution to your own society, to your own area, wherever you're going? Like, even if you're just going to the park every day, right? How can you make other people's life a little bit brighter, right? A little bit like, oh, they smiled at me. And someone might be having the worst day ever, but they see the pureness of your smile and they light up. They bloom like a flower in that moment. Because that is how we respond. That is our photosynthesis, you see. That sunlight is the smile that we're getting. A person's smile, a person's sense of humor, joy, joyfulness. We need this stuff. And that's how I transmuted my anger this morning. Honestly, I was really angry this morning for some reason. I was going down my own mental lanes, you could say. My own internal world. I was just walking it and I was just seeing destruction around me. Destruction isn't a bad thing because you need to destroy something in order to create. That's Shiva's energy too, right? He understands that he's the destroyer and the creator. So you gotta, get rid of the skyscraper and start from scratch to build a new building again. You can't stack that building on top of a previous building. I mean, I understood that too. But that only came later, right? In the moment when you're angry, you don't think of like logically and intellectually about this stuff, right? You're just kind of in the emotion. You're just kind of pissed off, right? Nostrils flaring, you know how they showed in cartoons, right? Nostrils flaring, right? Coming out of your ears and stuff, the smoke. That's how I felt. But then I started to understand that my vision, my purpose is way bigger than that moment. You get it? The God within me is greater than the problem in front of me. You see? The God within me is greater than the problem in front of me. If you make this your mantra today, I promise you, you'll get strength, you'll get willpower. Maybe some of you are already feeling this in your bodies, right? Like a Tron suit, like you're putting on a Tron suit. And now you're about to zip through the galaxy like the Silver Surfer or something like that. Like that feeling, that positive feeling that I can make change, that I can adapt my circumstances, that my joy is not invalid just because someone else doesn't understand it. See what I'm saying? Like, someone else might not comprehend your level of joy. Think about that. Really think about it. How do we respond when we see someone very happy in culture? Whoa, calm down there, okay? Are you on drugs? Like, what's going on here? Why are they so positive? It's off-putting. That's the usual response that we get to somebody just being in their element and just passionate and speaking, right? Because it's a shadow to those people. You see? They know that that's a possibility, that they can go there. They can be that positive in their own lives. But they're feeling a sense of lack in that moment. That I'm not there yet. Why are these people laughing at this joke and I don't get it? That distancing or that separation that we cause when we don't understand a situation. Without understanding, there's going to be ignorance. And with added ignorance, there's going to be conflict. So you got to convince yourself of the positivity that the world already has, man. You have so many things so easy for you and beautiful for you. And it's a privilege for you to even breathe another day. But you look at some of the most pettiest things and you zoom into them, trying to make sense of this one little blip in time. Rather than embody. What is embodiment, right? Embodiment is being in the body. That's one of the portals towards presence. Why do we even talk about embodiment, right? It's a presence portal. When you are in your body, you're in the now. You're in the mind when you're in past and future, right? It's this amorphous thing, this invisible thing. One could say that, hey, just like the past is determining the now, the future is also determining the now, right? So your future self might be making decisions that's consciously hitting you on this timeline level. Okay? Now that's weird to think about, a little bit esoteric, but really sit with me and understand that, right? There's something called timeline therapy as well, where they take you back into the past, into, past life regression and all this kind of stuff, right? So this stuff, we're slowly starting to understand it on a deeper level. Yes, some of it is woo-woo, and we can make lots of gesticulations and categorizations and confusing remarks about it. But how it helps humanity is what I'm interested in, you see? That's got to come from within you, though, right? Why would you want to help humanity if you feel misanthropic inside, if you feel like, yo, this place isn't even serving me anymore? We all have our agendas and dilemmas and ways that we want things to be, and when we project those things onto life, our life looks pretty shitty. But when we take it out of that context and we look at it, we zoom out maybe perhaps, or we take ourselves out of a situation and sit for a while, we start to now get more space in our minds to deal with what's going on. This is why meditation is so key. This is why yoga is so key. This is why, doing some form of movement is so key. Ecstatic dance is so key. Breath work is so key. All this kind of stuff that enhance you or alter your state, instead of altering your state every single day with caffeine and supplements and all this kind of stuff, which is great too, I'm not gonna lie, I biohack, you know what I'm saying? I dabble, but I'm not attached to those things. They're my training wheels, man. They make life spicier and add more flavor. It's like that. I'm thinking like a culinary artist of this cosmos. Okay, what am I gonna cook up today that's gonna make me feel in vibration, in tune, in alignment with what I'm bound to create 3 years from now, 5 years from now? If what happens in 5 minutes doesn't matter in 5 years, I'm not interested, bro. Positivity is really a possibility, right? It's looking forward to something. That's what happiness is, right? You're looking forward to something. Something is gonna grow. Something is gonna get better. And that's why I had that upward spiral again. I kept saying that to myself when I was very depressed. I just kept saying that, and then became a hashtag, and then we started saying it just to everybody, man. Like, yo, we've been down in the dumps, we've been in our own hell, and we're raising up. Now we're raising up our frequencies. We understand, we've done the shadow work, man, and we're climbing up again. It's like a bungee cord at times. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder. And we're just going to hell and heaven and hell and heaven. World oversoul, underworld oversoul. We just keep diving deeper into the crevices to get this entire continuum sorted. And once your continuum, as I call it, is sorted, you don't need to worry so much because it's handled. It's been handled. Positivity is you shining a light on your best self, on your best attributes, your most optimal version of you. And slowly you're just shining the light brighter, and you're emanating that. You're letting it ripple, you're letting it grow. And that energy is slowly going to impact the people who come into contact with you, because we call it uplifting someone, right? Uplifting people, taking them out of a bad mental state into a positive one. And that's what I want for you, man. You know, a lot of people tell me that they like my sense of humor, you know, that I'm funny or whatever. I love being funny. I love being funny, but also love having fun. And I also love being very serious. It's me, purely me, man. I'm 29 years old, man. You know what I mean? And I seem like I'm very wise for my years. I seem like I'm much older, right? Or it may seem like I'm much younger, like very, very young. But in any case, I'm positive, baby. You know, I'm always seeing the bright, always look on the bright side of life. Right? When you first heard that, you were like, no, I get it, but it's like also not really though, you know? But also nah, you know? Okay, that was your energy. But now if you think about it, always looking on the bright side of life is actually giving you so much more possibility, right? You're looking through the portals and you're seeing, because we say fixed mindset versus growth mindset. What is that? This is the same thing of negativity and positivity, right? A growth mindset is positivity. A fixed mindset where you're stubborn, you don't want to change, right? You feel like you're lacking, nothing's working for me. It's all their fault, not mine, right? So you got to make a choice, man. You got to take responsibility for your own positivity. A lot of people don't. A lot of people depend on it outside, or other people will make me happy. No. You already know that your happiness is an internal journey, yet you keep seeking it in these external outside sources. And that's the main mistake, bro. If you want to be positive, if you want to be the positive glitch in this negative matrix, you're going to have to make some changes in your life. That's the scary part. But we can all do it, because we're all in this because we're all in this together. Okay? I don't know why I'm resurrecting High School Musical, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Upward Spiral Gang, may we never be the same again. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. I enjoy your presence. Thank you for being here.